What's up, everybody? DJ Brock here with Party Every Night DJs. This video pretty much just going out as a request. I actually got email from a guy who just recently subscribed, and he ended up, saying how much he loved my videos, my reviews, etc. So what I'm going to do today is do a little bit of a do-it-yourself kind of video on how to raise profits, how to advertise, how to stay legal with music, and so on and so forth. So pretty much just to get started, what I would say, well, first off, thanks for all the subscribers, thanks for all the views. We've gotten some backlash on some of the, the pieces of equipment I've done reviews on because I thought they were, great. Other people said that they ended up ordering the equipment and it was junk, but my thing with that is everybody has their own opinion, so what can you do? But this video is going to be pretty simple. Nowadays everybody's pretty much, I guess you could say, fighting for gigs. Brides and grooms looking for DJs, especially with social media these days. It's kind of turned into what you could call a flea market, and it's pretty much just DJs going, head to head, and trying to offer the best price, and sometimes undercutting the competition. And as a professional DJ, that's just something you don't want to do. It can only lead to trouble. It can only lead to your name getting, ruined a little bit. You have other companies out there, if they don't like you, they're going to break you down. And, they're going to tell other brides and grooms about you, how not to book you, and blah, blah, blah. So the best thing I could recommend with anybody using social media or has, a lot of competition in the area, what I would suggest to you is just stop and get along with the DJs in your area, talk to them, try and build connections with them to where that you guys can feed off each other when it comes to gigs. Say you're already booked, and sooner or later maybe you want to hand out and you want to, a gig, pretty much landed in your lap. What I would say is just, work with them, reach out to them, talk to them, get to know them, find out what kind of equipment they have, go out to lunch, sit down. Because it can only benefit you in the future, especially with Facebook these days. You're going to have a lot of DJs on there being, I guess you could say, tagged. Someone's going to say in search of a DJ, and you're just going to see DJ after DJ after DJ tagged, and then once they see that tag, they're going to jump on, they're going to try and pitch this person right there on the comment board, and to me that's unprofessional. You don't want to be, battling in a flea market per se to get a bride or groom. I tell you what, if a bride and groom want a deal, they're going to get what they pay for, hands down. There's always quality in the price, and sometimes there's not. The lower the price, you could probably expect less experience, etc. But that doesn't mean you still can't wheel and deal and get gigs. Now, what I would recommend, especially when it comes to the Facebook aspect, is if you get tagged in a Facebook post, and they just tag, say, just for instance, just your name. The first thing that you want to do is definitely not respond back to that comment with your tag. Don't drop your website address or anything like that. Send a nice professional email or message via Facebook to the bride or the person interested, and simply explain your services. You can inquire questions with them, how many hours, etc. Most of the time this is going to be made known right there in the Facebook post itself. The biggest thing, though, is to stay off the comment board. Is you don't want to go back and forth with these other DJs, because the way it's turned into is, it used to be, you think about bridal dresses, and there's that one bridal dress left for that perfect price. Every bride's going to fight over it. So if a person goes out on Facebook and says, I'm looking for a DJ, here's my budget, here's the date, and all these other people have it open, it's just going to be a consistent battle, back and forth, comment after comment. A lot of times you'll see these other DJ companies just throw their prices out there, and you don't want to do that. So make sure you send a nice professional message, let the bride know, like, hey, we are available. Don't use cheesy, congratulations and things like that. Just get straight to the point. Hi, my name's Brock, owner of Party Every Night DJ. Saw you're in search of a wedding DJ. Go ahead and check out my website. Check out my gallery, my photos, my testimonials. Everything that you need to see is on there. Boom, as simple as that. If they go ahead and get a quote, or if they go ahead and reply back with, what your price is, go from there. But don't hound them. Don't make them, feel like a piece of meat. You want brides and grooms to want you, and that's as simple as it's ever going to be. I just now started to learn that over the past couple of years, and I've been doing this for 12 years. It used to be, hey, let's get this one for 250 bucks. That's 250 in my pocket. But then once you realize how much work you have to go through and everything leading up to it, it's really not worth that price, and you're worth a lot more. So instead of me rambling on time after time, I'm going to go ahead and get to some of the questions that were asked to me. And it was simply websites. Websites are huge and key to me. If you just have a Facebook, that's not enough anymore. Websites are what's going to get you the exposure into Google, Bing, Yahoo, all the SEOs that you can think of. You want people to be able to search and find you through Google, because a lot of times nowadays Facebook's the last resort. That's the last place a bride or a groom's going to look if they're having problems finding a DJ. But most of the time they're going to get on Google or their search engine, they're going to type in what they're looking for, and you name it is going to pop up. You're going to have Gig Salad, Gig Masters, 1-800-DJ, Wedding Wire, Wedding.com, The Knot, Thumbtack, you name it. All of those are going to pop up. So what you're going to want to do is definitely, first off, get a website. Now, as you can see, my website here, I built this myself. I didn't have anybody do this for me or anything like that. But pretty much I left this up for you guys to see. I created this using Wix.com, and also down here it'll say this little thing where when people visit my site, if I take that down or I leave it up, it'll say it was created by Wix. Create your own free account. Now this is not a free account. I created it with Wix, but I am a premium member. Now what you get with a premium, you get a lot better add-ons. You get to link social media. There won't be, if you're not a premium member, there'll be ads up and down the right and left side of the page. Sometimes they'll pop up on top. You don't want that. Basically, creating a premium account's easy. You pay roughly around, depends on how much bandwidth space you need. I pay about $9.99 a month for the site, and that's premium. I get a bunch of free add-ons with the premium. I have a free contact form, all kinds of other different cool things. And the domain was only $24.99 for 2 years. So you're looking about dropping $40 initially. You can build it yourself. It's really helpful. They have templates, but if you're good with graphics or you're good with Facebook alone, I mean, you'll be able to change your backgrounds just like a cover photo on Facebook. You'll get to edit all your text. You can kind of pick the layout of if you want your menu bar up top and things like that. So pretty much I'm just going to show you a little bit about my website. So at the top I have Party Every Night DJs. Then I have affordable, dependable, professional mobile DJ and event specialist. Now a lot of people will say don't claim yourself as affordable, because then you do start to sound like some of those DJs that charge only 100, 200 bucks a wedding. But nowadays brides and grooms are paying for their event on their own, so being affordable is the first thing that you definitely want to be. You can even take mine and copy mine onto yours for all I care. You definitely want to be dependable, and professional is the most, the biggest punchline right there. But then I basically have my my phone number. I have search no further, your party just started. And then I have a couple new things that I just like to get out of the way once people visit my website. I always show them the dancing on the cloud effects, because that's a big money maker. That's a big upsell. If you don't have dancing on the clouds, I'll quickly show you real quick. This is the Nimbus Junior. It's actually pictured right here. Now this is the actual Nimbus Senior. It's a little bit bigger, but for the money, this is $5.99 out the door. Very easy to use, has a warranty. It's basically just dry ice operatable. With a little bit of water, heats up, you drop the dry ice, boom, you're ready to go. This lever basically is how much you want to, dry ice to be thrown out. It can either go slow, or if you drop it down, it's full go, it's full hammer. So I definitely like to show everybody, since I paid $5.99 for that, Dancing on the Clouds upgrade for me is about $199. So only a couple uses out of that, and it's pretty much paid for, and I'm on to making some profits. So that's a pretty good feature. How I advertise that is, everybody's first dance is the same. You've been to countless weddings yourself. Everybody does their first dance, but what's going to make yours separate from all those other ones and make it special? It's a good way to sell that. Now I also have my affordable rental equipment up there, simply because these guys right here, these are the Harbinger HA120s. You can get them right now on sale at Guitar Center. They're only $149.99, and I'm sure they'll go down from there. Get them brand new. Get the 2-year coverage on them, you're good to go. Perfect to rent out because all you need is a Y cord with RCA and the 1/4-inch jack to hook into iPhones or iPads, etc. And from there, people can pretty much do their own fundraisers, family outings, parties, you name it. And it's also really good for ceremony music. So as an extra upcharge, about 125 bucks if you want to rent this to them, so they can have somebody play their own ceremony music. That's kind of seems to be the thing right now. Also, what you'll notice is I do have a video on my main screen. Video is really important. A lot of times brides and grooms want an idea of what your events look like when you're DJing. Now a lot of times they'll ask me, do you have any videos of you hyping up the crowd and etc., etc. I really only get a chance to take these videos when I'm in the middle of a song and I have time to bust out my phone or camera. I think them asking for those videos is kind of over the top, simply because I have a low overhead. I pretty much go out to every gig myself. Only the really big ones do I bring someone else with me. So in order to catch every single one of those moments at every wedding, I'd probably have to hire a professional videographer. I know some, but they're not going to come out on big nights like this. These are Saturday nights in wedding season. They're not going to come out for 50, 60 bucks to videotape your wedding when they could be out making more. So I try and just snap whatever I can during dancing, etc. I do have a couple of me doing introductions, but to really get really good sound with those and whatnot, you have to have a really expensive camcorder, and I'd probably never ever use it other than just that fact. So these little simple videos are fine. I could actually give you an example of what this one is. So that's just pretty much as simple as that. I don't want to waste your guys' whole time watching the whole thing. So videos are important to have on the main screen. That way, they already get that, and they don't have to email you right away and ask you for something like that. Down here, pretty much all I do is let them know simply what else we do for them. I let them know that we're a full, premier full service wedding. And what that means, when you're full service, that means you do everything. You do ceremony, you do wedding reception, introductions, grand entrance, first dances, dollar dances. You're full service. You got wireless mics. You have, amazing speaker setups, great sound. You also have the online event planner, which I'm going to show you. That's really important. Full service is huge. If you're just a mobile DJ service, that just means you have very portable, very mobile setup, and there's not a really lot hole you can handle. So always make sure you let them know that you're full service somewhere. And you're event experts. Don't let them know you're just a DJ. Anybody can push a button these days. They have laptops, iPads that have virtual DJ and have those little turntables. Anybody can be their own DJ. So always let people know that you're an event expert. You've been doing this for years. You know the layouts of how things should go down traditionally, non-traditionally. The modern ways, the new trendy ways to do certain things. You want to make sure that you let them know what new games can be played other than the normal ones, what different dollar dances you can do or fun things. So always make sure you let them know you're an event expert. With me, I offer flat rates with no hidden fees, no overtime. Now what that means is no overtime. If they run over their event by just 15-20 minutes, I'm not going to penalize them with a $50 half-hour fee. I'm going to let that slide, and if it continues to get to the point where I think it's going to continue to go even longer, that's when you go up to the bride and groom and say, hey, I don't usually charge you overtime. That first half hour, was a freebie, but if I stay here any longer, I'm gonna have to, charge you either a gratuity or something like that. I never really ever say, hey, I'm charging you another half hour. I say, hey, gratuity would be great. Go, wrangle up all your bridesmaids and your groomsmen, and throw in a couple bucks between all of you, and we'll call it square. Free consultations. That's the biggest thing when brides and grooms want to come up to you and they want to come sit down with you, make sure it's free. Make sure you're not charging them for that. And with free consultations, always make sure you're going into that pressure-free. You know, they've already got enough stress and enough things on their plate. The most you want to do is try and upsell them right out the gate, or be pushy with a deposit, or even be pushy with booking in general. You know, let them make their own decision. You know, that's what you got to always remind them, is this is their decision. I tell all my brides at my free consultations, like, hey, you know, I understand that you're on a DJ hunt right now. There's lots of great companies out there. You know, I'll do my best, to show you what we can do and what can make your event great, and what'll set us apart from other services. But hey, you know, we understand you're out there hunting around. We understand that you're still in talks with other DJ services. So here's what we have to offer. No pressure. I'm not going to tell you that it books fast and you need to give me a deposit now. But you know, I will let you know that, you know, the dates aren't promised. So, you know, usually that'll sway them into at least dropping a deposit. Or maybe it won't. But I never really push for trying to get half up front or anything like that. We're going to go ahead and get off the website thing real quick. Pretty much just below that I have a contact form. I have that on Wedding Wire Rated. I have a preview of my testimonials. And I have a frequently asked question box. Now right here they can either get a quote, check the availability, or visit the client area for their online event planner. That's as simple as it gets. I know a lot of guys, it's just cluttered with all kinds of different stuff. I have my About Us. I have my weddings page, which is pretty simple. All I really just put is my different packages. I put what's all included. I put what specialties we are, you know, full service, our specialties. And then I just put our affordable extras, what else we do offer. Right below that, hey, you know, give us a call. Pretty simple, to the point. Same thing on the parties page, event extras. Simply just letting everybody know what we have at affordable rates. We have uplighting, gobos, projection slideshows, fog and bubble, backyard movie night, karaoke, ceremony music, and of course rental systems. Other than that, I just have my testimonials page. This is pretty important to me. Testimonials, some of them have pictures of the actual event, so that's pretty important as well. And then I have my gallery. You know, everybody wants to make sure that you have a professional setup. Don't be that DJ that just comes an hour beforehand. You use their table and set up and just put your laptop and you have your speakers. Make sure you get, I mean, let's get professional here, people. Let's go out and get a facade. Everybody has these now. It's so much more professional than having something, you know, on top of a table or using their table. So, you know, get some uplighting. You know, got to start separating yourself, because if you want the big dollars, it's not going to be you just bringing 2 speakers, a laptop, and putting it on a table with one of their white table covers that's been used at 20, 30 weddings. Go out and get yourself a professional table. Build your own facade. I have videos for that. Or go to djnow.com and, you know, buy one of theirs for $4.50. I mean, I'm sure I'll save you money if you just build it yourself. But that's pretty simple. Alright, so we're just going to get away from the website altogether. Let's just scratch that. Let's go into Facebook. Facebook's great. Facebook's a great way to advertise, but you don't really want to get deleted off your friends' pages, because that's all you're doing is posting things about your DJ company. I would build a Facebook DJ page. Just include on that whatever you would include on your website. You know, after an event, you know, post pictures of that event. You know, thank recent clients. Upload photos. You can do so much. Advertise on that. Get a LinkedIn page or something like that. But when it does come to Facebook, what would separate you from everybody else? Get on there and see if there is a Facebook page in your area for, you know, the county you live in weddings. Like right now in Ohio, that's where I live. I'm about 40 miles south of Cleveland. We have several different pages that people get on to advertise as vendors, and also brides are on there looking for services and looking for used goods for their wedding. So for instance, if I went on to Facebook and I typed in my search bar on Facebook, I live in Stark County, so if I typed in Stark County weddings, there's a wedding page at Stark and Summit County weddings where all these vendors and whatnot get on there and advertise. And I actually just started one myself. It's called Cuyahoga, Geauga, and Lake County weddings. Now, how this is good, especially if you start the page on your own, you're not only going to be the administrator, but you're going to get to set the rules on what goes and what doesn't go. So right now on the Facebook page that I'm on, not only have I booked almost most of my wedding season just off of that, I've also had a chance to mingle with other vendors, etc. And actually I linked up with somebody that has a photo booth that I'm going to include in my packages, and I'm going to take a cut of that, so that's great. But you also get to set the rules. Like the one I'm on right now, you can only post once a week, which is kind of ridiculous because I don't know if you have the area garage sales on your Facebook that people buy, sell, trade. Those are great, but with how many people are on there, by the time you post something, maybe 20-30 minutes later, you're already at the bottom of the list. So making your own page, inviting people to it, other wedding vendors, make sure that the word is out to all the brides in the area that this is a place where they can come and find vendors hassle-free, etc. That's a great way to see a spike in revenue. And also, see what else is out there. You might, stumble across some DJ services that are doing something that you're not, that could help you make money, and you might want to not steal their idea, but, just run with it and see what happens. So that's pretty important. I would definitely check out on doing that. If I give you any other advice when it comes to websites and advertising, get a wedding wire account. I mean, you don't have to get a premium or a featured one, which is going to cost you $200-something a month, but at least get on there. At least get on there, because as long as you're a basic member, you can still have a profile, brides and grooms can still see you, and you can still get leads that way. And especially if you have a website. If you don't have a website, it's kind of pointless to be on any of those sites, because they want to go from that site to your site. They want to be able to go from there to yours to get a quote, to check out pictures, etc. So if you don't have a site, I'd get on that. Get on Wix. Start building. It'll take you a week. It'll look great. Wix helps you with the SEO, which is basically the meta tags on how people find you based on what they type into the search. So I have this nailed down. I have party and DJs. So when people put in party DJ in my area, I'm at the top of the list. So you might want to think about also changing your name if it's not already well established. So if you're, Tommy Tunes, DJ Tommy Tunes, like that might not be the greatest name for a wedding DJ or even a party DJ, because when they're not going to type in Tommy or Tunes into Google to find you. So you got to think that when they put in there, they're looking for a DJ. You got to have DJ in your name, I would at least assume so. Even if you called it Tommy Tunes DJ Service, then you're taking a step forward. But you can't just call yourself Tommy Tunes, DJ Tommy Tunes. And there's not a Tommy Tunes in my area, so I just completely made that up. From there, though, you get the SEO with Wix. You can start advertising. Get on Wedding Wire. They'll find your site. I promise you. I'm still a basic member on Wedding Wire, and I'm rated. I'm rated because I have reviews. It's another reason why Wedding Wire is a great asset to you, is because once you're done with an event, you can log on to your Wedding Wire, copy the email of the bride and groom that you just did their event, and send them a review form, and they can review you. Brides aren't going to choose you based on if you're a featured member. Brides and grooms understand that you're paying top dollar to get to the top of that list. So they're going to look for ones that have the best reviews, have the best photos, and sometimes have the best website. So keep that in mind. What else you're definitely going to need is, I'm not even going to pull it up on here because it's pointless when you can just go there. It's called DJ Intelligence. I know a lot of DJs to this day in my area that they hire other DJs for their company, and throughout that process, I've actually been to a wedding where I went up to the DJ, hey man, I'm a DJ from around the area, how long you been doing this? He told me he's been doing it for only a couple weeks, okay? So I looked at him and I was like, wow, and he had NS7 board and whatnot, but he ended up telling me that as a DJ for this company he works for, they rent him this equipment. I know it was a pretty pricey wedding because I was actually close with the people getting married, and they paid a pretty penny, but this kid was only getting paid $150 or $200 for this wedding. Only been doing it for 2 weeks, so brides beware of that. And I actually ended up saying, well, how do you get your lists of stuff from them? What do you guys use? He said there's a lady at this office, and what she does is she writes everything down, and then she sent it to him. And I looked at it, he showed me, and it was just all kinds of crap written all over the page, like the bride's name I think was even wrong and shit like that. Go to djintelligence.com. You can either pay up front for $119 for the whole year, or go ahead and pay $11 a month and go month to month, see how it works. But on there you can basically, once you're booked, send the bride and the groom an email. It contains their password and their login information, like on my client login page, and they can go on there and plan their entire event. They can fill out their planning form, what songs they want for certain dances, their timeline of events. And a lot of this stuff might change, but they can put the list of everybody in their bridal party introductions, and they can even request their own music. So if you're still sitting down with brides and letting them kind of just write everything down and give it to you, or you're just like going over it over the phone, it's senseless, man. Pay the money. You're already, making money doing weddings. 119 bucks. It'll completely just change your life. How much easier it makes it. That way, when you sit down with them for final details before the wedding, you already know, everything that's going to happen. You've already practiced. You've already made the playlist on your virtual DJ or Serato. I mean, you're ready to go. So go ahead and do that. DJintelligence.com. Great tool. It's even got a booking tool on there where that's where all your quotes are generated from. You can set your prices in there. You can black out dates you're not available. You can make promo codes. So if they book during a certain week or month, you get 25 bucks off. There's all kinds of different stuff to do. Now I'm going to go ahead and answer one of Michael's questions. And Michael, he was the one that emailed me, and he said he loved the facade videos, and he actually built one, and he's building a website right now, and he's just getting started, and he doesn't know what to do. But he took my information on this, and it works for him so far. So he's still building that, and I wish you luck, Michael. Well, we're going to get into how to stay legal with music in the DJ industry these days. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go to my frequently asked questions form, and I'm going to show you something. And this is completely true. This is not whatsoever made up, but I did copy it to my site so I can let brides and grooms see it. And simply it is a lot of times I get the question, is your music legal? A. Are you licensed? B. And C, do you have insurance? I'm going to go ahead and just punch out number 3 right now. The only thing that you need to have insured as a DJ is your equipment and pretty much yourself. Other than that, it is, now, mind you, this is not true if you're doing a private event at somebody's house or something like that. It's exactly what your contract's going to be for. You're going to have a clause in there saying you are not liable for anybody's actions, whether it be anybody in the bridal party, any guest of the event, etc. DJs have been sued before for just little tiny things that had nothing to do with them. For instance, you play a song, it's a really rowdy song, even though it was on the bride and groom's request list, the drunk dude decides that that's the song that inhibited him to jump off of something and break his legs. You can be liable for that. But if it's in your contract, you're not liable for anybody's actions at the event prior to, during or after. So let's get that out of the way. Insure your stuff and insure your, if you want to get medical insurance for yourself, but I doubt you'll need that. Another thing with insurance is event halls. When you're at an event hall, they've already got insurance that covers anybody inside the hall. And I know this because I work with a lot of event, staffing places, event halls themselves, security guards at the event halls. When the bride and groom go in to sign the contract to rent the hall, that also comes with insurance to cover everything within that hall, even me, including myself and my equipment. So if the ceiling falls and hits my stuff and that knocks over and hits somebody, I'm covered. You could still possibly be liable if your speaker were to fall over in the middle of a song and seriously injure somebody. Who wouldn't go take you to court for that? But it's nothing you need to carry insurance for, because when you're at an event like a accredited event hall, a business, they have insurance. You don't got to worry about that. B, are you licensed? I would recommend going out and getting a business license of some sort. I have a vendor's license under Party Every Night DJs, etc., because I'm technically selling /goods/services to the bride and groom, but it's nothing you technically have to be licensed for. That's what the event halls are for. The event halls are covered and licensed for you to be able to play your music inside and things like that. So when someone asks you as a DJ, are you licensed? That the first thing they're asking is, I don't want to get in trouble if you're not licensed to play the music that we want at our event. So A and B kind of fall together. A, is your music legal? Well, all music's legal as long as you get a hold of it in the right way. I wouldn't recommend going to any of the torrent sites and downloading anything off there. A, because they're tracked, like they can track those things and and shit like that. Now you have to have proof of everything you've ever downloaded. That's the thing, which I do. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys do, but I'm going to show you some tricks to that. Now, first, I'm going to read from you on my frequently asked questions a little bit about I forget the BM the licensing, the people that license you your music. There's all kinds of them. Ask something. But I'll pretty much read this to you so you can see. Alright, so, does my DJ need a music license? Are you licensed? So some DJs have been confused in the past about carrying membership in performing arts organizations like ASCAP, BMI, that's what I was thinking of, and SESAC, because the rules differ depending on the performance type. The way their licensing is structured is it is actually the responsibility of the venue, and in parentheses, bar or nightclub, etc., to maintain membership and pay royalties. Now, simple as this. A lot of places have AMI jukeboxes, the internet jukebox. That bar is paying for that jukebox, and it's paying for the license at the same time. So the jukebox, they can play whatever they want on the jukebox. They're staying within their license for that jukebox. Now, say they shut the jukebox off for a night, and you come in as a DJ, and you're DJing. If you ever get confronted by somebody, or say that place, bar or club, releases your information of what DJ service they use, because here's how the BMI will do it. They'll actually call the bars that they have a list they'll check up on. Ones that they know are in the area that don't carry a license, they're going to call and say, hey, what's the name of your DJ company? First thing they're going to do is they're going to call you and they're going to try and scare you into buying one of their licenses. A, this is just a marketing and a sales trick. This is just a way for them to make more money. When it's, in all honesty, it's the bar's responsibility. It happened to me. They called. They said, your DJ is not legally allowed to be playing music there. Bar owner came to me and said, hey, what the hell's going on? Are you legal? Why are they calling me saying this? I explained to them, listen, you don't have a BMI license, do you? No, I don't. What's that? That's what you need to have me to be able to come in here and play on the weekends. How much does it cost? Well, it depends. It can cost anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 a year based on your annual revenue, how much money you make, etc. So don't ever, if you come across that, don't let people, scare you into thinking that you need a license, etc. DJs playing for the public, so not for private events like weddings, then provide a list of the music to the venue that was played, and that's it. So if you ever play a private event, and I do it very rarely unless it's asked for, but you're supposed to provide a music list of every song you played. Now, if a DJ plays for the public outside of a licensed establishment, then they are responsible for paying their royalties. So basically, if you go out into the middle of a park and you're having a barbecue, a cornhole tournament, etc., you bring your DJ equipment, your laptop, your music, and you start playing music into the park, into the public, where other people can hear it, and it's not a private establishment, you are then really risking some serious things. Now, A, who's going to know, but B, who you never know. So when it comes down to that, I'd be very careful. But then this type of copyright licensing has absolutely nothing to do with weddings and private events. It's as simple as that. Below are exact quotes from licensing agencies, and here's what they said. I'll read them to you, and these are real quotes. ASCAP does not license DJs. It is the venue, establishment, or promoter of an event that is responsible for public performance licensing, not the performer. Private events such as weddings, etc., are exempt from licensing. That's from ASCAP. Now that's located more in like Canada and places like that. Now this is BMI. This is going to be the people that are in our jurisdiction in the United States. BMI licenses the public performance of music. Events such as private parties and weddings are not required to have a license. And that is the executive director of BMI themselves. And then we have the SAC, which I believe is Europe and United Kingdom. I could be wrong. Royalty fees are not collected for private performances, and they couldn't have made that any just simpler. Sorry, we're not going to come after you for things like that. So now that we got that all squared away, you're definitely going to want to find a place where you can get your music. People use promo only. People use iTunes. Promo only, I use promo only. I only pretty much use them for karaoke. I have other sources for music and for video. So for all the VJs and just the DJs out there, the next two sites I'm going to show you are really great for this, and they're inexpensive. Promo only gets a little expensive after a while if you want the complete package of music, videos, and karaoke. So I just do the karaoke. But music and videos, it's way too expensive on there. I will let you know that right now. But you can still check them out, promoonly.com. So I'll get to a couple of the other sites right now that are actually really, really great for DJs, and especially the way music is evolving. So we'll go to the first one. Alright, this is BPM Supreme, bpmsupreme.com. It's trusted over by over thousands of the most popular DJs in the US, Canada, and the UK. Basically what you want to do with this is get the professional package. There's also a personal package. I think it's $19.99 a month, and that's for if you are just using the music for your pleasure, working out, putting it on your iPhone, iPad, etc. Now, in no way do any of these licenses give you the right to just to go resell the music. But with bpmsupreme.com for $29.99 a month, you get, and that's professional, which means you're able to take this music and use it wherever you want. Wherever you want. No worries whatsoever. Even the park. You can take this and go to the park if you want to. $29.99 for the professional package. It goes on a monthly basis. You're basically charged up front $29.99. You gain access. It'll reoccur every month, every 30 days following that. Now, I know this site's pretty new, but so far they have over 75,000 audio, 20,000 video, and just this week alone they added another 676, if you can see that. I'm not going to go through a lot of it, but this is the best one you're going to get, because for $29.99 you get audio and video. So not only do you get the video, music videos that, they edit out all the crap and the skits in the middle. So I know a lot of people download their stuff from YouTube, and then in the middle of a song, Country Girl Shake It For Me is a perfect one. It's just boom, and it's two girls having a conversation in the bathroom. You don't want that to happen when you're at an event, especially if you're doing a music video show. So here you can pretty much download the music video in several different formats. You can get the intro edit, which has kind of like a longer intro, so you can mix the BPM with another song. You have just a straight radio edit, which boom, the song starts right where it's supposed to. And then you can do the dirty version or the clean version. So if you're a DJ who could really care less about curse words, and you just no matter what want to always have the cleanest music, this is the site for you, because every song on here has a clean version to it. Now, the different things you can do is top downloads, which is just what DJs are getting. You can get radio charts, which is going to be everything on the top 40 in rock, country, dance, pop, hip-hop, R&B, dub, twerk, and trap, and instrumental and acapella. So that's all that. And then staff picks, just what the staff likes. And then new releases. New releases is cool because it's before it even hits the radio, these songs are on here. So you have the newest and hottest stuff before it even comes out. And that's a great advantage to any DJ. So simply what you would do is when you want to pick a song, let's see here. A lot of these have remixes and stuff like that from other DJs. It also has Latin and urban. I forgot to mention that. Just for instance, R. Kelly, Wow. You click view. Once you click view, you're going to have the option to either add it to your crate, and I think it allows you up to 300 megabytes per crate download. So you can download it unlimited amounts of music a month. You can get on here 7 days a week until your 30 days is up. They're not going to charge you for going over any amount, but your crate only allows you to download so much. It's about 300 megabytes. It comes in a zip folder once you download it. So I would just suggest whatever you're downloading, if you're downloading it by genre, I would just make sure that you change the name of the crate. That way you're not mixing stuff together. My hard drive's very, very organized. But it'll basically show you what versions it has. It has the clean, dirty, intro clean, intro dirty. If you're a mixer and you have like the NS6 or the NS7 IIs, or you're using the SSDJ SB or any of those, and you have multi-channel mixer, you definitely want to shoot for always getting the intros, because I guarantee you got that thing because you like to beat match and you like to mix. So intros are always the good ones. I always shoot for clean. Some of the popular songs out, you might want the dirty version of, like I Don't Fuck With You. Don't matter where I'm at. I play that in a karaoke bar or something. Nobody cares. Everybody's actually like chanting I Don't F With You, and it's crazy. So that's the way to do that. This is the same way for the videos. This little play button right here lets you preview the song. So especially if it says remix next to it, or chopped and screwed by this DJ, you can listen to it before you download it, just in case it's crap you think you'd never play. But this is videos are the same way on this. So that's one. I recommend that one over the other ones I use, because this one has more of the newer, top 40 and Billboard 100 on it than the other one does. The other one is going to be your record pool for more of your instrumentals, acapellas, dubsteps, traps, house, dance, pop, all that. I'll show you that one real quick. This is digitaldjpool.com. This is one I've been using for actually a while now. I actually just stumbled across this one day, but I like it. Same pretty much thing. Basically search what song. Now the dates on these go back a lot longer than BPM Supreme. So say you typed in, you had it selected to all, and you typed in 50 Cent, you'd probably get every single 50 Cent song he's ever came out with, in every version, clean, dirty, etc. So this is a good one if you want to go back through, Google, top songs of 2000, and you want to just make sure you always had like all those #1 hits and Billboard 100s that were out back then. This is a great tool to use on this one. This one's $12 a month, so it's very, very cheap. They accept PayPal too. So basically you can type in whatever you want there. It's going to come up with every version. The different genres this one has, it has drum and bass, it has dance, alternative, reggae, it has all of them. R&B, hip-hop, pop, electronic, trap, dub, has it all. This one is unlimited as well. I'm not sure if it goes by megabytes, or I think it does, it just doesn't tell you, but I could usually get about 25 to 30 songs in one crate on here, and it downloads like that. So you don't got to worry about waiting forever. So if you want to stay legal, this is the way to go. I wouldn't be doing torrents, guys, because A, you don't know what's in them. You got to trust something that's been checked out. A lot of these torrents are compiled by complete idiots that just sit around and get drunk all day at home. Like, could have virus. Like, that's all you would need, is not know you have a virus, and it's one of those songs, and once you load it in the virtual DJ or something, it cuts out halfway through. Like, you just never know. So there's no reason to go through each and every song you downloaded on a sharing site to make sure it's okay, when you can trust these guys. I've never had anything wrong. And these are the highest quality. I'm talking the highest quality. So you're not getting that crap that's been, transferred a million times to other people, and over time the file's just corrupted. But with BPM Supreme, what you also get monthly for being a pro member is they'll actually send you this right here is the audio series for February 2015. Sexy little Nicki Minaj on there. It just looks like that. But this is what promo only will do too. You'll not only get a digital copy that you can download, but they'll also send you these just for the hell of it. This is February 2015 for the video series. You can see BPM Supreme right there. Not really sure who that guy is, but I'm sure he has a hit song somewhere or another. So that's also cool as well. So You could sit here and collect these. Not a lot of people have those big CD books anymore, but you can just start collecting these like mad. I mean, I probably will never open them because I probably have everything already on them. But they're cool. I mean, they ship them to you right away too, so you're not waiting on this stuff. Like, you got the stuff before it comes out. So that's a cool thing to do. Other than that, I mean, I pretty much went over everything. I know this is a super long video. I don't even know how many subscribers I have, but I know a decent amount of you guys will maybe stick with me here and watch this all the way through. Other than that, man, I guess that's it. I mean, I pretty much showed you everything that I use tool-wise. I mean, these are pretty much all my DJ tools. I mean, if you want to use them, great. If not, you know, find your own way. I'm trying to help you out. I have no problem with other DJs, you know, in my area. They can find me on YouTube and watch these videos. I'll help them out. I just had a company called On the Mic Entertainment. It's probably not even 8 miles from me. Asked me to build their facades for them. I said, sure. How much do you want? I said, just pay for the materials. I'm always, you know, help another DJ out. You know, what happens if my speaker gets blow? You know, I'm the day before a wedding, my speakers blow, or something happens in my vehicle and my speakers get crushed or break or something. You know, I mean, I have tons of speakers, but the ones I need to use, you know, what's going to happen? I could call that other DJ company and be like, hey man, I helped you, dude, you got to help me out. Like, even if I got to throw them $50 to rent them, I mean, it's not like they're giving me the shaft. So I would just look into that. Another thing, Craigslist. Advertise on Craigslist. You know what? Keep it simple. You know, don't go on there and, you know, pour your guts out on what you do as a DJ. Put on there professional DJ service as the heading. You know, in your description, just put now booking. You know, put your website link. Put galleries, photos, and more. Request a free quote on our website. That's what DJ Intelligence will be for. You know, how much traffic you want to generate. Now with me, I own 2 companies, so I'm not as crazy as like these other companies that will go out and they'll be on every single website as a featured person, and they go to bridal shows and stuff like that. Now listen, there's a lot that goes into a bridal show. You need very nice brochures. Sometimes you need, you know, you're going to get beat out by the DJs that have DVDs, presentations that brides and grooms can watch when they get home. Hands down, only go to bridal shows if you're ready. Now, I don't go to bridal shows or anything like that because I own 2 companies. I own a vinyl decal company. I do it out of my basement as well. I don't know if you can see. There's some of my decals over there I've cut. That's my workstation. That's my vinyl cutter over there. I tint windows as well professionally. So, camera's getting a little wobbly. But that's that. I mean, that's what I do all day. I sit here and I cut, and then on the weekends I'm DJing. So it's whatever you want to make of it. I would recommend going out, getting these Harbingers right here while they're on sale. Great secondary setup to have. Or you can start hiring out other DJs to go do events. That's one thing that does piss me off about some of these companies out there is they claim to be in my area and they're just outsourcing the shit out of all of us. Like, they are, you know, they make it seem like they're from Canton. I know one of them's called like Elite Signature DJs or something like that, but they're not even they're in Atlanta or something like that. And they book my brides around here, and then they hired these dipshits off Craigslist to go, you know, DJ the event for $150, $200. They even tried to hire me. They called me. They found my website. They called me. Hey, are you interested in picking up some gigs? Sure. You know, I'll always take a gig. You know, what kind of services do you offer? Told them, and I didn't realize how big of a you know, scam I guess this was, but I ended up saying no because they only want to pay me like $250 to use my own equipment. Oh, well, we know nothing about DJing. We just know how to sell people. So there's these companies out there ripping us off and taking our brides, and they're not even in the state, and I think that's wrong. But post your questions. Anything else you know you want me to talk about? I think I'm pretty knowledgeable. I mean, I know there's always going to be haters on here, probably going to, oh, you're wrong about this or that's stupid, but what do you got to complain about, man? I'm doing what I got to do for my family. Maybe you should focus on what you have to do for your family. Subscribe if you'd like. Now, usually I tell you as my little catchphrase, always straight to the point, no shaky videos, which this wasn't shaky. I'm sure when I played that video, it was probably a little loud. I know that those probably crackled on you, but I'm sorry about that. Hey, what are you going to do? Maybe I'll make another video about, I've got all kinds of new equipment that I have yet to show anybody. Have I ever showed you my dolly? Alright, check this out. $29.99. Sweet. If you don't have one of these and you're just lugging your shit around, I feel so sorry for you. Because all you, like, say a speaker, say one of your big, you know, this stuff, you can't even see that down there. But that is a 15-incher down there, over there. You probably can't see it that well. But you could put a toe strap to this and drag your speaker in. Why are you going to carry it in? Some of them have wheels, like speakers with wheels. So you could put your crates on this and drag it in. I drag my facade in on this. I drag my subwoofers in on this. Oh, check this out. Alright. Don't get it on eBay because it's not the right one. This is called on-stage stands. Now, you can either do this one or two ways. You can go out and you can buy a really, really expensive headset mic, which I don't trust, and, you know, have it on your head and walk around with it and risk it like it's not muted and you're outside like smoking a cigarette, which you probably shouldn't be smoking at someone's wedding, and then you accidentally say something and it's loud over the mic. Listen, go out. This was $79.99. It attaches right to my DJ table. I can put it on either side. It can swivel wherever I want. And I can put my microphone just right in there. So, instead, you know, because I have, you know, a DJ controller. So, when I'm doing introductions, sometimes I need it both hands on deck. Because a lot of times now brides want a song for this person, a song for that person. So, you can go hands-free. You can have your mic right there, have it all set up. You know, that way when you're doing introductions, you can use your hands, like, you know, give it up for this person, and, oh, I got to change the song, so let me just, you know, get it ready, get it cued, you know, because if you're like this, you know how hard it is to look at your laptop and be like, all right, I got to get this cued. With this, you can just be talking, you can be looking down, and $79.99, made out of steel. Like, I bought one on eBay, it was $30, and I broke that damn thing so easy. But this thing is legit. Like, it's even hard to, like, I could probably do this and get a workout. But yeah, it's a cool little trick. Why hold the mic if you don't have to? That's what I say. Now, I understand, like, if you have a helper with you and you want to let them run the decks while you go out onto the dance floor for, you know, the bouquet and whatnot. Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah, take your mic out there. But when you're at your DJ booth, there's no reason to have one hand like this. A, because you overjudge the distance sometimes with your hand, and you'll get it too close, and it'll sound really stupid. So with this, you know, you cue it up and have it. Have the fader just right, and you can stand back here and talk, and it looks professional. I don't like when I look like this and I look like I'm about to Macklemore it out or something. I like to look like I know what I'm doing and like I'm a radio talk show host or something. But, alright guys, I'm sorry that it was such a long video. But hit me up with questions. Email me at partyeverynightdjs@gmail.com if you want to see me talk about what I think about something. You know, I bought this. I was almost thinking about starting a DJ radio station and doing like DJ news, like you know, Avicii just got in a horrible car crash today, or today we're gonna take some calls. Let's talk about quality over quantity. And what I mean by that is, you know, good quality speakers over let me bring my 4 stacks of PVs and just blow these old people out of the water. So You only need the quality. You don't need the quantity. So yeah, so hit me up, guys. Thanks for watching. DJ Brock. Have a good day.